Your next stop is your success. Lane clear of negative eyes, please.
Hey, you guys, hola mi gente. Welcome back to Brown Sugar and Sofrito.
Hey, I love when you say, hola, mi gente. I love when you say that.
That's so cute. What's
Happy
up?
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Well,
Day.
happy day after Mother's Day.
Hello. We always celebrate. We're always being celebrated. So today we're
Right.
going to talk a little bit about, why not talk about women? We in May.
Right.
They
It was Mother's Day.
We're moms. Hello. It's no
Hello.
It's a no-brainer. So,
So what you get?
huh?
I said, so what you get?
Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into it.
Okay.
A motherhood question. What has motherhood taught you?
Okay. It taught me, honestly, to be honesty, transparency. Yeah. And that if I was to ever, well, this was like thinking before, if I had another child, I would have been so much of a better mom because of the experiences that I learned from Maya. Unfortunately, the first child, right? They like the learning lesson.
Honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that being honest and patient and knowing that everything's gonna be okay.
Yep. Yep.
If you prayed and you put them on the right track, you just know if anything goes, they're gonna come back on,
Oh,
right
that's
track.
right. What is that? Train your child in the way something they should go and
The way they should go, yeah.
or something
And they
like
will,
that.
and they will return to it. Yep.
Exactly. Well, it's taught me exactly what you said, but also selflessness, right? Because you always got to put your kid first with everything. Yeah, I want to
Right.
do nails. Mom, can I have some? Oh, damn, there go my nail money. Here you go.
Right.
Oh, and it also teaches you to grind, like really be on your grind, that hustle mentality, just to always make sure that they have not necessarily what they want, but what they need. And once in a blue moon, obviously the little things that they want if they've earned it, of course.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely taught me how to grind and be.
But when you just said that also in the latter more, when she started getting older, it taught me how to take care of myself. Because I would not take care of myself because the way I should with certain things, because I was putting my child first. But if you don't take care of yourself, how can you be any good?
Even down to
You
my appearance. I mean, I always like to be like little cute or whatever, but
Right.
everything went to the kid. Everything.
Yeah,
I see something
absolutely.
cute, went to them. Pair of shoes, went to them. And then I was always at the back burner because my thing is, I don't like it, and I'm not judging, but I don't like it when parents look all fly and cute and stuff, and then the kids
Yeah.
look a little hobo-ish. I mean, it should be reversed, unless that's their style, right? Because
Right.
you might have that whole sedity look, and your kid just might like, sweats
Right.
and Uggs, and that's okay
Right.
too. Um, but there's some people who you can clearly tell that
Right.
themselves over their children, and that's so
Yeah,
not.
but it definitely taught me that because I would always keep putting off things to get, oh, I'm not going to get this, or I'm not going to go get my hair done, or I'm not going to do
That was
this,
me.
I'm not going to do that. When I mean, sometimes you got to put yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
So it taught me that, you have to take care of yourself as well as a parent.
Very good. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jump in and ask you another one. Today I'm asking the question.
Ah, yes, I love this.
So there are in the times that we're living now, I kind of feel that a lot of parents, and not really like our demographic, maybe a little bit younger, I sort of feel like they're raising their children like if they are their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What are your thoughts about that? Do you feel that you should raise your kid like a friend, or should you really be
No.
that?
No, I mean, if that comes along, of course, that is, dope. That's good. That's great. But the object is for me to be the parent first, to guide, to steer in the right direction, to tell them to watch out for that, don't do this, because they don't have the tools and the armor to do those things for themselves yet. That's why we're the parent.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Mhm.
there's so many parents that I see myself that are like
I'm sure you see in
friends.
education. Yeah.
Yeah, that are
Mhm.
friends with their kids, and just the way they talk to one another, just laughing at some of the things that are not really laughable, just really shows like
Mhm.
almost like the immaturity on the
Mhm.
parents' end.
It could be that. It could be that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
could be.
to me. Yeah, but I don't believe in
Mhm.
that, friend. I am not. That used to be my line. I could care less if you don't like me because I am not your friend.
Right.
As I
Right. Like I
continue to
said, I
get
mean, if it,
older,
yeah, if we're friends, you always want your child to feel like they can come talk to you and open up to you,
yes,
because if they feel like, oh, I can't say this to my mother, it's always going to be some adult around who they do feel comfortable about,
yes,
hopefully, that they can
yes.
go. But you want to be that person. But I mean, no, my first thing is not trying to be their friend, it's to be their parent and to love them.
And then
Yeah,
when they
that's
get older, they obviously your relationship shifts a little bit.
right, because of the maturity, because of their experience, because yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And then
You
they
can
start
let
to
the
become like
rain
your
go a little
bestie.
bit. Right. You can let the rain go a little bit because they have experience. They know not to do this. They know not to do that. So yeah, when they're younger, you really have to guide them.
You really do. Like you really are molding a child. Like every decision you make impacts
You're
the,
molding a person that's going to be a grown person.
yes, isn't that crazy? And even
Yeah.
though society and their friends play a role, right? But like you mentioned, if you train them in the right way, yeah, they may reel off, but they'll always get right back on track. And that's part
Hmm.
of growing. They have to go through life experiences to know right from wrong, and
Hmm.
how to deal with certain situations. All right,
Right.
you have
Well, I was now that we talking about were we talking about role models? Because I don't know if I heard role models. You said friends, so I just think that
friends, but guys,
yeah, yeah. So when we were going to talk about role models for like in our lives, I was thinking of it like breaking it up, like not just like your stereotypical role model that you would think of, like somebody who like you can have role models in different things like fashion and acting and music and all these kinds of things. So who are some of your role models that you have, if you can think of off the top of your head?
Lord Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Okay, so one of my role
You don't have to
models,
get too ready.
one of my role models have always. So I'm going to start with a family member. My
Okay.
cousin Scottie has always been my role model since we were little. Um,
Okay.
she went to college, and I wanted to go to college. Where she worked at after college, I worked at after college, and I just always kind of watched her. And now
Right.
she's become like, I am so super proud of this chick. She's become a fire chief in the Bay Area, and she
Okay. Okay.
one. Yes, she is one out of very few, but she
Hmm.
might be, if not the only one, she might be the only Afro Latina who's a fire
Right.
chief, and it's
Wow.
6% are women. So that's
Right.
like what, 94 are men. That's crazy.
That's
So
probably like that's probably what, like 10, 5 that are women, 10 or 20 at the most.
isn't that
Right.
crazy? That is so crazy. So I always looked at her as a role model, and now I'm like, yo, I'm still looking up at you. Like she sets a goal and she executes it. She doesn't
Okay.
look side to side back. And so I've always admired her. And then I have a young girl that's a role model.
Okay.
She's
That's
only
what's
like
up.
28 years old, and I
Hmm.
literally could be her mother. But yo, I watch her and I'm like, yo, I'm so proud of all of her accomplishments at such a young age that are things that I'm trying to attain at my age. But the fact that she's just like boom,
What is
young,
she doing?
huh?
What is she doing?
She's well, she's already like been a homeowner and now has her own home and just so family and has a career going. And it's like, yo, by the time she's my age, she won't have to owe a mortgage. She won't
Mhm.
have to, she'll probably have multiple properties because she's so focused. I
Mhm.
absolutely love um how she thinks, and she thinks, she's still a typical 28-year-old, right? They like to have fun,
Mhm.
laugh. But when I tell you she's so focused and I so admire those qualities about her, it's like she's set to go and she goes for it.
Right.
Like, yo, if I wish that I had those type of characteristics and those traits, obviously it's a testament to how she was raised. Not that I was raised any differently, but she was obviously exposed to maybe more
Well, and it could be
different.
different. It's, I mean, it don't even have to be that about the raising part. It just who people are as who they are as a person. That's
Mhm.
just her nature to be that type of,
It
person.
really is. It
Yeah.
really is. I see her like a boss somewhere. That's just who
Mhm.
she is. And so I really admire her drive and not being afraid. One of my things that kind of stopped me from being as successful. I mean, I'm successful in my own right way. I want to be, but in what I love to do is
Mhm.
because we are well, I'm my own obstacle, right? You set
Mhm.
a goal and it's like, this ain't working. Track that, let's move on. But
Mhm.
young people, period, today, yo, they are so focused on that prize at the end. It's a whole
Mhm.
different demographics. Those kids in their 20s, they think differently. They're becoming multimillionaires at such a young age. They're really, really doing their things. And so I have to
I
tip
love it.
to not just her, but all the kids in those demographics that are really making those power moves to solidify their future. That at
It's
our
just
age,
so it's just so much exposure now for
mm,
different things. You can do like so many businesses at your fingertips.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can do
yeah.
so many things too that you don't even have to do the work yourself. AI can do it.
Hello.
Um, it's just so many outlets that they were exposed to that we weren't, but they are, I mean, they're just so dope. When you talk about that girl, you made me think of Maya. But see, my whole thing with Maya, I just set her up where I just always wanted her to be 10 times, 20 times better
That's
than
right.
I am. So
That's
at her
right.
age, she's doing all the things that she's doing. And
Yes.
so the limit is, yeah, but these kids are definitely doing their damn
Different,
thing.
they're a different breed. When I see
Yeah,
Maya,
but
I see
that's
this
what I
one.
love. Yeah, I think every generation is going to be like that because it's just going to be more technology, more know-how, more intellect in certain subjects. It's just like,
Yeah, I
but I got
absolutely love it.
one. I got one for that I like for fashion.
Oh,
So it's this lady. Her name is Gina Loins. Do you
mm-hmm.
know her?
No.
She's so okay. You have to look her up on Instagram. Her style is so dope. She's so fly. And then there's this other girl that's called High Low Lux.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of her?
No.
Everything. Love her style, love her fashion. And then, so my other person that I had down is not a woman, but it's
Mhm.
this guy. I'm always talking about him now. His name is 19 Keys.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Yes, yes, yes.
This young man, no, seriously, I pray for his protection for his coming and going because he is such a mind. He is such a force for this generation. He's such going to be such a change agent that you got to pray for people for his protection. Like he's everything. If you never heard of him, go check him out. 19 Keys.
Ah, nice, nice.
Yes. Got any more questions?
Um, so have let me think over here. So I was reading a little bit. And again, my mind is on mothers, just because it was just on
Right.
Mother's
We
Day.
just came out of Mother's Day.
It just
Right.
came out of Mother's Day. And then I was thinking about, how we were raised and how we used to get disciplined. Well, not just maybe us, but I was a great kid.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Ah.
Just the way, but if my friend got it, guess what? She got hit, I got hit. But just what are your thoughts about that? How different the disciplinary part is, and so many factors that hinder us from really disciplining our kids. I'm not saying beat them down, but like, you legit can't even scold your kid without somebody looking at you crazy. Yours is my kid. I should be able to reprimand them. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Then versus now. Then versus now.
It was I just saw, so without getting too, okay. There was just a man that was at they were doing some legislation, or it was like a school district meeting or something like that. It's a parent, he's talking to the board. They literally had, it was something gender, and forgive me for paraphrasing, but it was something that had to do with gender, whatever. Gender was in the title of the book. In the book that's in the classrooms now for elementary school kids, is showing how to give fellatio and how to do, but you have books on race relations and other type of things that can't be in the classroom. I just think I think people need to allow people, especially kids at that age, allow us to raise our children and stop being involved in everything that we want to do with our children. Unless people are doing something that they're abusing their kids or something like that, that's a whole nother argument.
That's a whole different
thing. I mean? But as far as you, like, I want to know, in my child's classroom that's in elementary school, you teaching her about anything that has a sexual orientation, sex, whatever has to do with sex. You teaching them about sex, is that improving their grades? Is that making them pass science? Is that making them learn history? Like, what is it? What is the point of that in the classroom at that young age? Like, and if it's my thing that I don't want my child to be in the classroom, I don't want my child to be taught that, then I should be able to say no. Exactly. Stop. I don't want that. Exactly. It's crazy that they're not allowing us to raise our children.
No, society really isn't. And I mean, things as I won't mention any names either, but certain programming that's on TV that are normally geared towards children has shifted so much in these years, where we're being forced to kind of rob our children a little bit from their innocence, if that makes any sense, because we're having to have these really harsh, kind of grown-up-y conversations with our kids. It's no longer, okay, this is your private, this is a penis, this is your private, this is a vagina. No, it's like, you have to get into the nitty-gritty of conversations, because they are exposed even in the regular day-to-day programming that we seem to think it's innocent.
Like Sesame Street age. Come on.
Yes. And now, even with Sesame Street, they had that whole thing where, I don't know how old it was, probably like a year or so old, where they're claiming that 2 characters in Sesame Street happen to be homosexual, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what? If you don't bring those things up to kids, no kid is really going to think about that. Not a kid at that young age that's watching that type of programming. So why do you have to over-sexualize everything? Can't you just let a program be the damn program? Teach them the ABCs and then 1, 2, 3s without thinking that Bert and Ernie are hooking up, or whatever, the Big Bird, whoever the characters were. That's crazy to me.
You know what's so crazy is that, because I've talked to people about this, and you're going to have people that are going to say that, well, children know that, how they feel by this age. And it's like, that's fine, but that's something that you need to be taken care of in your home. if you see those things. Like to put that out to the masses, to thousands upon thousands of children, and put like sexuality, they not, come on, no. I mean, this, this, let us steer our kids and know, like, you know when to approach your child, and you know how to approach your child. Like the way they so aggressive with it now is just that, like, if your child was thinking one way, they're going to be stirred another way, because it's like, man, well, maybe I'm wrong.
But that's what's happening. See,
Right.
back then, and you know what? To each his own. Whatever you are is what you are. I respect. I don't care. I don't care what you do. That's you, right? But these kids nowadays, if they're a tomboy, then they think that they might be gay, or they think that they might be a binary, or whatever the terminology is now. And it's like, but baby, you're just a tomboy. It's okay to be a tomboy. You're gonna outgrow that, and eventually you're gonna,
or maybe you don't outgrow
or
being
maybe
a
you
tomboy,
don't,
but it's just
not identify at no young age.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just, you giving, it's a lot for us as adults with all of the,
Yeah,
like, you don't, in that community, you can't even explain it the way you need to explain it, what all these pronouns and all these things mean. Like, you can't even really to explain it to the person that needs, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just, let children be children. Like, there's no way in elementary school you should be having a book that is about oral sex.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, it was about oral sex
to me.
Yeah. And what about the drag time shows that they have for kids now? Were they doing story time? Like, I mean, why does that have to be? Why do those? How do those two go together? You know what I mean? So it's just,
Why people feel that they have to sort of throw all the sexuality on kids when their brain.
It's a lot for me, all the sexuality. I'm like, woo.
Child. Sometimes I watch a program here and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, like, whoa, what is happening in that program?
I mean, everything. I mean, innocence is so beautiful. It's so sweet. And all of those things are just gone now.
Honestly, if I could do a lot of things over, like you mentioned earlier, your first kid is sort of like your trial run, right? And if you don't have others, then I'm sorry for all the bumps along the way, right?
Right.
And if you have that second child, you would do things differently. And I've often stated that if I had an opportunity, I probably, and even though when my kid was younger, the TV was more so after homework. You have like a little hour and a half, 2 hours before, you go to school, before you go to bed, little things like that. But if I could do it over, I probably won't even do TV. I'll probably focus on books and more things that benefit them.
Because they absorb too much, and they what you tell a kid and what you show a kid is what they believe at that age. Okay. They don't have a mind of discernment yet. They don't have a mind that has experience yet. So they can't, when you tell them that this is this, that this color is this color, this is like this, they believe it. You know what I mean? So that's why when you have all this hypersexualized stuff, all these things, they're just like in a whirlwind, like, whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a lot, girl.
Girl, I'm just so happy that I don't have to re-raise anyone in this day and age.
No.
Because I don't think that I'll be able to really handle. I mean, you're gonna handle it, right? Because as women, as mothers, you're gonna adjust. But just to have to deal with all that craziness,
what's so crazy? It's people's mindsets are just like that now because that's the norm. Like commercials are that way. Every TV program is that way. The news is that way. So you're programmed to be that way. So it's not even like our thought process that we have about certain things. They don't even have that thought process. Not everybody. I'm not generalizing, but just because we're talking about this, Yeah.
So we're talking about role models and stuff like that, and I'm thinking about Yeah, we're talking about mothers and things, but fathers also play a factor, right? In raising children, you know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes their roles are very, very clear. Do you believe that men, mom and dads have very distinctive roles in raising their child? And what's your thought about when, okay, some fathers are absent and some fathers unfortunately might be deceased, or some fathers, um, whatever the case may be. But what's your thoughts on the father playing that important role in a child's
I
life?
think
It's really, really different than the mothers.
I think that is crucial. And when they're not there, you see the outcome of that. You know, you see a woman, girl that's always, longing for a father, looking for a male figure to look up to, um, latching on maybe to somebody that's older than them.
Mhm.
Even when they get older, searching for somebody that's that strong image because they never really had that father figure in the home. A father is everything. I mean, from the simplest thing of the tone of their voice to a child,
I
you
agree.
know,
I
it's
agree.
like a mother can say something to a child and say, "Oh, your father say it," is taken totally, like I always. And you know what I also hate now that you brought that up. I, those are two very distinct roles, a mother and a father. They
Mhm.
two separate roles that come together to make, to raise a child. I hate when they say happy Father's Day to mothers. That drives me crazy. You are not a father. I'm sorry that you've had to take on this role as a father, and you had to step in those shoes and put on a more masculine hat as far as certain things are concerned. But you're not a father. You're an amazing mother, yes. But I don't like when people throw that around because it's just like I yeah, it's that's not who you are. You're not the father.
I do believe that those roles are very, very different. And it's really bothers
Yeah.
me when women deliberately keep children away from
Mm.
their fathers
They
because
do them a disservice.
they don't
Yeah.
understand what they're doing. Like a woman, I feel that a woman can give, and yeah, when we have to take on that role, unfortunately, the the times that we're living, the reality is that some women really have to do a dual role, but you're not really being that man, that male role model, right?
No.
That a young boy or a young girl needs. They need to see that male role model starting from their father. So if the child, I mean, unless the dad is like a whole deadbeat and you know what, I get that. But if the father is good, and some people just off a GP don't want to have their kids around their dad, um,
Right.
it's such a disservice because a child needs their father. They need to see what it is to be a man. A girl needs to see what a man is supposed to look like, act like, smell like, talk like, walk like, dress like.
Yeah.
I can't do that
It's
for
just
her.
it's just different. It's just different roles. Like that's okay. Like that'll be a whole thing. Well, why can't the woman be strong? Of course
But
she
you
can be
can.
strong,
You are
but she's not.
strong.
She can be strong, but not strong in the way that a man is strong.
It's
Why? But why are we making those things a competition with each other? The man is a man and the woman is a woman. That's all, and they both good. That's it. They just both good.
period. Period.
Period.
Period.
I think we solved it. They both good. Period.
Hello. That's yes. They both play very
Yeah.
important roles in the child's life. We need both.
Yeah.
The women are the
Yeah.
nurturers, right? We naturally nurture and teach them that empathy and that sensitivity. And the dad
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I agree. I
That's it.
agree. What do you
That's
have? Does
it.
he have anything else?
No, yeah, I just want to just give a big shout out again to all the mothers. Love you for all the things that you do, and big up to you, girly, for doing a great job with your girl. And
Thank you.
you welcome, you welcome, and yeah, and
So
just subscribe and like,
I'm gonna leave you with
subscribe.
one question.
Yeah, please.
One question. What
Mhm.
is the best advice or the biggest advice that you can give another woman or another mother? or
I'm
another
another
woman as
mother.
a role model, or as a role model, as a mom role model, or even from a woman to a woman? What's the biggest advice
Mm.
you can give someone based on your experience?
Well, I'm gonna keep it in the headspace of being a mom
Mm-hmm.
and say that if anything is going on, it is going to be. I mean, I know it looks crazy. Yeah, it looks crazy. It looks insane. It looks like you want to knock teeth out. It looks like you want to snatch extensions. It looks like you want to scratch faces. You know, it's gonna be okay. I'm telling you, it's gonna be okay. It really is going to be okay. Then you're gonna sit back and be with your child and be like, wow, yeah, yeah,
I
that
think I
experience
love
is gonna
your
be okay.
ass. I think I love you.
I think I love you. Yeah, it's gonna be
Um,
okay.
yeah.
That's one piece of advice I want to give. If I could just give one thing, yeah. Because I want to knock you in the head. I want to snatch your extensions. I want to, yeah.
I think Jill
And
looks cute. I think Jill might be cute.
Joe might be okay. I mean, they get a meal in there, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Joe may be okay. Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
Oh,
Joe may be okay. Yeah, but it is going to be okay. I am telling you. And you have to learn how to be able to say, my bad. I'm sorry. I fucked up. Oh yeah, I did that wrong. Be able to own your mess that you did as a
so
parent.
important.
That
So
goes such a long way. Such a long way. Yeah.
and it teaches your children how to be parents, how to own up to the things when they're
Yeah.
wrong. You know what I mean? So when it's time for them to
Mhm.
raise. That's great advice, sis. So on
That's
that
what I get.
on that
That's what I get. That's what I get. I don't know
okay.
what that was.
I don't know, girl.
All right,
That's that one. That's
bye.
that one. See you guys. Oh, you stupid.